Hey everybody, welcome back to BigRedEDC, and welcome to this edition of Channel Chat. And joining me today is Alex from 814 EDC. Now, I should have asked you, do you say 814 or do you say 814?
814.
814. Okay, I did it right.
Yeah.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
Yay! So 814 EDC, a fairly new channel here on YouTube. So very, very cool. Well, Alex, do me a favor, man. Just kind of tell us a little bit about yourself and what got you into the whole knife and EDC and YouTube game, man.
All right. Well, I just want to start out by saying thanks to you, Big Red, for having me on. Of course, really appreciate it.
Oh, my
So,
pleasure, man. My pleasure. Thank you for doing it. I know you're
oh,
a
of course.
busy college student, so
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Hey, I'll always make time for knife and knife content. So,
Right on.
I guess I'll just start out where what kind of got me into knives. So, I mean, I've always been kind of interested in knives and stuff like that. My dad and my grandpa they hunted and they got me into hunting, so I've kind of grown
Sure.
up around hunting knives and stuff like that. My dad was a concrete contractor, so he always had at least a utility blade or something in his pocket.
Sure.
My one grandfather was into construction, so he was always carrying a knife, and I just kind of grew up around stuff like that. But and every time I go to like anytime I get to like a Cabela's or like a sporting goods store that sold knives, I'd always kind of, make sure to go over and peek into the knife, area just to check it out and stuff like that. But I guess what kind of got me into the hobby, I'd say about 4 years ago, my freshman year of college, I had a lot of downtime just in between classes and stuff like that, and I kind of found like the YouTube world. I always knew what YouTube was, but I didn't really realize, people. It was all the way I kind of called it was like TV kind of with people putting out like new episodes, I
Oh
guess.
yeah. Yeah.
So I kind of got immersed into that and got addicted to it. And somehow I came across Blade HQ, and I started watching a ton of their videos, and I was like,
Sure.
man, a lot of these knives are like really cool, and I mean, just really they seem like they're really cool things to collect and stuff like that. So I ended up, I think the first knife I bought was a Spyderco, like their bird
Oh
series.
yeah. Yeah,
I,
for sure.
I forget what the exact model was. It was like a slip joint kind of, it didn't lock. It was like a $20 knife. And I bought that and I was like, man, this is really cool. So I carried that for probably about a month and a half. And I continued to watch YouTube. I continued to, be more immersed into it. And then I was like, okay, I'm gonna buy a real knife. So the first real knife that I bought, I don't have it with me right now. I think it's at my hometown, at my home. It was a Ontario Rat 2 and D2.
Mm-hmm. Oh
It was
yeah.
a super. I mean, it still is a super popular budget knife. It's really
Oh
recommended.
yeah.
Um,
I don't think they'll ever not be popular,
yeah,
honestly.
they're just good, solid knives that are good.
Exactly.
And I got that, and I remember thinking like, man, $35 on a knife. I'm never gonna spend more than that. Like this is the level I'm gonna stop spending. Because I mean, I don't have a huge knife collection, obviously, but I definitely have spent more than $35 on knives. So it's just
Oh
kind
yeah.
of,
Oh, and trust me, it'll continue.
yeah, it works from here. Work, I mean, depending on how you consider worse, but
Right, right. Oh,
so
trust me, man. I'm right there with you. I was the same way, and yeah, yeah. It just
just kind of the ball starts
it
rolling.
snowballs. Oh yeah. Yes, it does.
So I remember I carried that for quite a while, and then I want to say the first real knife that I got. So it was for Christmas, and then my birthday's in January, so I kind of like back to back. Um, I got the where's it at? The OD Green bug out here
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
for my parents, and then for my birthday, they had just done Shot Show, and all the new Spyderco models were rolling out, and
Oh
that's when
yeah.
they released the Pair 3 lightweight.
Okay.
So that was my birthday present. I got on the pre-order list for that, and I've recently sold the Para 3 lightweight, so I don't have that anymore. But the bug out and the Para 3 lightweight were kind of my rotation for the next like year. Like I didn't buy any knives. I just rocked those two. I would just change them in and out daily. And I was
Well, if you're only going to carry two knives, those are two pretty good ones to choose
oh yeah,
from. I'll tell you that, man, for sure.
yeah, they were two. Like I mean, the bug out. Like everyone knows what the bug out is. It's just such a benchmark kind of, I don't know, all around good EDC knife.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the Para 3 lightweight interested me because, I really liked the Para 3, but the Para 3 lightweight was a lot cheaper
Yeah.
and a lot more manageable to get at the time. And
Sure.
I love that knife. I recently sold it because I was just, what it, like how it is. You just trying to get more knives on the channel, more
Sure.
newer.
Oh yeah.
Um, like I said, I carried those two for about a year, maybe even more than that. I wasn't, I mean, I still was watching a ton of videos, but I guess I didn't have that itch to buy more knives until when the first, like COVID started getting bad and we were all kind of quarantined about a year ago. I had come home from college and all my classes were online. So I had a lot of free time. I was getting a little bored. And that was when I made my Instagram channel or page, I guess you could say. And I started getting back into the hobby and started, watching a ton more videos and following a lot of new people on Instagram. And that's when my itch kind of started again. And I remember I bought, I think it was a Boker Mini Strike, the auto knives.
Oh, okay. Sure. Yeah.
It was kind of the first one that I bought, and then I remember I bought like a SOG Terminus XR, and then it just kind of snowballed from there. And now I'm kind of where I'm at today. But
Well, right on, man. That's cool. That's very cool. Now I know you said you're you said when you were a freshman, you said 4 years ago. Are you currently a senior now?
yes, I'm a senior. I graduate in about a month and 2 days, I think, is when graduate.
Really? Well,
Yeah.
that's fantastic, man. That is fantastic. What's your major? Or
Criminal
what's your degree in?
criminal justice.
Really?
Yep.
Police officer?
I don't, I'm still kind of feeling my way through what I want to do, but I have a strong kind of urge. I always have had that urge to be like a detective or an investigator. So that's kind
Oh,
of
wow.
the end goal. But
That's and well, of course, I kind of happened to notice the flag in the background.
yeah, yeah,
So that's obviously the criminal justice, and I see the flag. I'm like, okay,
yeah.
but no, that's very very cool, man. Well,
Thank
congratulations, man.
thank you so much.
That's absolutely awesome, man. Very very cool, very cool. So okay, so you got this background in knives, and you kind of grew up with them. So the channel, what brought on the channel?
Um, so like I said, I've had my EDC Instagram page for about a year now, and
Mm,
the more the more that kind of grew, and the more people I started interacting with, I got more exposure to people's channels, and I guess I kind of wanted to do it for a while, but I guess I was just kind of nervous and like I just didn't do it. But um, I guess I finally started doing it because I just wanted to. That was just another outlet for me to interact with more people and get more immersed into the hobby, and just
sure.
another way for me to talk about things that I love and the knives that I love and stuff like that.
Very cool. Right on. Well, you know what? That's a good way to do it.
Yes, it is. Very good way.
Very cool. Very cool. So, man. So, okay. What kind of like we talked about some of your carry, previously the bug out, para 3, lightweight, both of them absolutely fantastic.
Great knives.
Where do you find yourself kind of in today in your carries? Are you more of the lightweight EDC type guy? Are you more of the kind of in between? Or are you a more of a heavier work knife type
I
of EDC, or is it a little bit everything?
That's a good question. I guess I'd still say that I enjoy lightweight, but I guess it's kind of moving to in between. I wouldn't say that I'm to like the heavy work knife area yet,
Right, right.
but I definitely prefer smaller knives, which is kind of
Okay,
counterintuitive because I'm like 6'4". I'm a bigger kind of guy. So most
okay.
guys not like bigger knives, but for some reason I just kind of prefer smaller knives.
Sure, sure. I think people, when they think EDC and talk EDC, I think they kind of lean more towards like the bug outs, the pair of
Yeah.
threes, you know, the smaller, which I'm kind of, I guess I would say I kind of prefer those for just like everyday EDC, you know, and
Yeah.
stuff. But um there's certainly well, it all depends on what you do too. So if you're
That's true.
talking EDC in your work and stuff, like you say, your dad and your grandfather, you know, in construction,
Yeah.
you're gonna maybe want something a
Mhm.
little bit heavier or utility, like
Yeah.
you said as well, you know, that utility type. You
Mhm.
know, I don't carry a lot of, I guess, I don't want to say big, but maybe stout knives.
Is that the mini Adamas?
It is. And
I've
I
really
tell
don't
you
know.
what, man, this knife is, I don't know what it is about it, but it is just super, super growing on me.
I've kind of I knew what the main like the full size Adamas was, but I always just thought that was a little bit too big for me. But ever since that the mini Adamas came out, I've been really like attracted to it. I haven't had a chance to buy one yet or to get one in, but it's definitely on my list to check
Sure.
out.
And you know, we were actually talking about that. I don't know if you saw Justin, myself, ODC for EDC, myself and Zach. You know, we all kind of we went to Benchmade here a couple weeks ago, and we were just we were talking about that. And for me, the mini is perfect.
It looks like it has really
Be-
good. Or
because just because of, well, you've got the two kind of natural restriction points,
Mhm,
right,
mhm,
for your grip, and my
mhm,
hand fills it up. Now Justin, like you, a little bit bigger guy,
mhm.
and he more prefers the large size. It just, you know, it
Okay.
doesn't quite squeeze his hand
Yeah.
in the grip. So you mean it, obviously it all depends on what the individual, it
Yeah.
does,
Yeah, for
it
sure.
all depends on the individual.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the mini fits me great.
Mhm.
And it's completely, it's not, you know, here you go. That's what I liked EDC right there, you know, something like this or the Penguin. Have you ever gotten into the Penguin from QSP?
I do have one.
What do you think?
I I really like it for 30 bucks. I mean, you can't go wrong with the I mean, D2 and I see is that the new
That's the red micarta
that
one.
model come out yet? Is that a newer
This one, it was red, it's red micarta. It was on drop. That's where
Oh,
I got
okay.
it from.
Okay.
But I did an unboxing, and was it Knife Center
Do they
or
really?
they actually have it. Was it Knife
Oh,
Center? I put a link in my video.
okay.
I'm trying to think of who it was. Or no, was it Atlantic Knife?
Hmm.
It may have been Atlantic Knife.
I haven't um I've been kind of out of the I've been home for Easter the past weekend, so I haven't watched a
Oh,
ton.
sure.
I need to catch up on my videos, so I haven't caught that one of yours yet, but I need to go check that out because I didn't know they had a red micarta edition of it.
Right. Well, and somebody pointed it out to me, obviously.
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah.
I, I wasn't I didn't discover it. Somebody showed it to me and I was like, "Oh, I got it," cuz I like the Penguin.
Yeah, it's a really, really good knife.
And then I went and looked, but the minute I saw it, I don't know how familiar you are with Hilltop Knives and Gear.
A little
BJ
bit just
Hill,
from other people's channels and stuff like that.
he does some amazing
Mhm.
like acid etching and
Yeah.
stuff on knives. The minute I saw this, I was like, I'm buying this and it's going
Mhm.
straight to BJ
Yeah.
because I want him to acid etch that because I think that would look so
Yeah,
good
that
with
looks
what he does.
mhm.
I mean, that I mean, I like the Penguin, don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
but that was kind of why I bought it. That was the sole purpose, is to send it to him and have him work his magic to it.
Now, was that
And
one still in the $30 kind of area or
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, from what it was funny when I got the paperwork from Drop. It didn't have it had the shipping stuff, but it didn't have the price on it. But I'm pretty sure it was right around that $30 range. And I think like I said, I think it might have been Atlantic Knife. And yeah, it's like 29.99 or something.
You just I mean, at that price point, you just can't go wrong.
Well, that's kind of it. You know, I had one parrot and I'm
Mhm.
like, man, for 30 bucks. And then I'm gonna send it to I want BJ to work his magic to it because I think it's gonna look so good.
Really good. Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. So what are some of the other type of brands? I'm sure you got some knives that you like to carry or to talk
Yeah.
about. So shoot, man, what you got?
So kind of, I'd say my favorite in my collection right now is the F5.5 by Urban
Oh,
EDC.
nice,
Yeah,
nice.
really like this one. Um, I explained in I just did I think my most recent video was my review on this, and I said that, I didn't know that it existed prior to, I guess it was a couple months ago by now, but I guess the pre-order was like back in last like September or something like that.
Okay.
I had no clue it existed, and I'm just really happy that Urban EDC Supply decided, well, that they had extra ones they were able to do a drop after all the pre-orders were sent out.
Oh,
So,
sure. Yeah.
and I think I got an email yesterday that they're doing another release of the brown micarta and the green micarta.
Oh,
And
really? Okay,
yeah,
cool.
yeah, but really, really big fan. I just like the overall design. I like the blade shape a
Oh,
lot.
that blade is awesome. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, without a doubt.
just good materials. You just can't go wrong with it. So that's probably my favorite current one in the collection right now.
Nice.
Another one that kind of surprised me how good it is the Monterey Bay Knives Mini Old Guard.
Oh, there you go.
Um,
Yeah.
I got this one from Kevin over at Left EDC.
Yep.
He During one of his and Kyle's live streams they do every other Saturday. It was like at the very end. Um, Kevin liked it, but he wasn't a huge like he didn't love it, so he was trying to get rid of it. And yeah, I think he sat on it for like a day or two, and he couldn't sell it. And he said he's a very impatient person. So at the very end of his live stream, he was like, "Live stream special," and he said a price, and I was like, that's a really good price. And I jumped on it, and after I bought it, I was kind of like iffy about it because normally when I buy knives and I do stuff like that, I have to take like a day or two to like watch some videos on it, just make sure I really want to buy it and
Sure.
spend my
Of
money on
course.
it. And so that was kind of unlike me just to in the moment buy it like that. But I'm super glad I did. The thumb stud action and the middle finger flick on it is really good. The Raindrop Carbon. I'm
Yep.
not a huge, like normal carbon type of guy, but the Raindrop Carbon is really really cool, I think, and pretty. And I really really enjoy it. So
Now, see, that's where I kind of, I had, it took me a long time to warm up to carbon fiber. It really did. And the reason being is, kind of like you said earlier, when you start out budget, I mean, that's just how you start out. And like you said, I never figured I'd pay more than $50 for a knife. And even that one was going a little high, and,
actually,
but the carbon fiber I'd seen, it was a peel and ply,
yeah,
it was fake carbon fiber. That's what I'd seen. But once you get into it and you can see, like, I mean, oh man, some of these shred carbon fibers that are out there and these marbled, I mean, wow,
yeah,
they
you have
just look gorgeous.
like the fat. Is that another
Now,
carbon?
fat carbon, yeah, I mean, they can do some crazy stuff with that as well. So, but now I don't have the mini. I missed the mini. Well, I didn't miss it technically. It's just bad timing.
Yeah,
But I did get the original, the full size OG.
yeah, yeah.
And I got one in my Carta,
Okay.
and I really like that. I really like the big, and it's kind of surprising. Now, the mini would probably fit me better,
Mhm.
just because of what I like to carry and my
Yeah.
hand size, but I really do like the
Do
full
you have
size.
any other MBK knives? Because I've kind of
Oh,
gotten an itch for them now. I
oh
don't.
my goodness. Me and MBK, man. Oh, let's see here. I think I gotta find Laconico is my favorite designer.
I really like his designs.
Oh yeah, and
I've kind of always
most
been.
of the time it's just because they're so clean,
Yes, exactly.
clean lines.
Yeah.
But I mean, let's see, what do we have here? Yeah,
That the
that's the
EZC?
Easy C 1.5.
Okay. That's the lock. That has a lock to it, right? Because I know
Or I
one of
mean,
them, like the double detent. Like
this is the double detent,
oh, that is okay. Okay.
and then oh oh the oh my goodness, the EWC. Or no, let's see here.
I forget all the
Oh my goodness, I am too. Well, like I said, you and I just got out of bed, so
Yeah.
there we go. There's EZC 1.5.
Okay.
The liner lock, and I got the EWC, and let's see. Well, that's a Laconico, but that's the Yorkie.
Yeah, that's a Kaiser, right?
Yep, that's a Kaiser. And then this is the big one, the EZC. This is the big one.
Oh, okay. I like that red.
This was kind of a special knife. My wife gave this to me for my 30th anniversary.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Or our 30th anniversary, I guess I should say.
That's so cool.
But Peter and Christine, Therapeutic Edge, Women Carrying Knives.
Yeah.
They actually got this from MBK.
Mm-hmm.
They had it powder coated red down there, and it
Okay.
is actually signed on the inside.
Really?
By Ray, yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so to answer your question, yes. I do have a couple. But yeah, and then I mean, I've got a Keen, and I've got the, oh, wait a minute, here we go. There you go. There's the old guard.
Is that, I didn't even know they did a micarta.
On the full size, yeah. I don't believe they did on the mini.
Yeah,
I believe on the mini it was just the titanium, the raindrop, and
carbon, I think.
just their classic. Yeah. Let's see. That's the marbled. I believe it was there you go. I believe it was the regular carbon fiber. So yeah.
I just love, like, they're just real simple designs, but they're just really appealing to me, I guess.
Oh, and that's what appeals to me the most, really, is just I love a simple drop point.
Me too.
You know, and his lines are nice and clean, and you know, not that I don't like this, you know, or you know, this, but it's just that's what really his style just really draws me in. Yeah, for sure, definitely. So, what else you want to show us? What kind of?
I guess two of my newest knives that I got in, the Finch 1929.
Oh, there you go.
And the Finch Cimarron. These were actually
nice,
sent to me from Finch. So they're kind of special because they're the first knives that I've received from a company. I messaged them. I was talking to Kevin, Lefty EDC, a lot about it, and I was like, do you think it'd be worth it for me to reach out and just ask if they'd be interested in sending like a loaner to me to check out and stuff like that? And he's like, yeah, just go for it, dude. Like, Finch and Spencer, the owner, he's a really good guy. They're a really good company and stuff like that. So I was like, okay, why not? I mean, I'll try it and see what happens. So I messaged him on Instagram, and like, I think it was like 2 or 3 days. They hadn't seen it yet because I figured, they get a lot of traffic on Instagram. My message might not have gotten seen. So I was on their website one day, and they have like a contact us form. So I basically retyped my message that I had on Instagram, just explaining, who I was, that I had started a newer YouTube channel, and that I've watched a lot of content revolving around their knives, but I just wasn't sure what I wanted to buy yet. And if they would be interested in sending me a loaner for like 2 weeks, and I would send it back and stuff like that. And Spencer emailed me back probably within the hour, and he was like, I think he basically said, to heck with loaners, we're going to send you a couple to review, keep, and collect. And I was just kind of blown away by the generosity and the niceness, I guess you could say, of it. So
that pretty much sounds like Spencer.
Yeah.
from anything I know about Spencer, that pretty much sounds like him. Yeah, he's a wonderful guy. He's a wonderful guy to work with, and just to talk knives, and that's the fun part is, and I've kind of kept this to channels and stuff, but I almost want to just sit down and do one of these with Spencer, because he just seems like just an awesome person. You know what I mean? And the inspiration for their knives and stuff is just, that's part of the hook for me. It really is. It's part of the hook for me. So,
and I know, I think I said this on my unboxing video, but I know if I was going to buy one, it would be the 1929 in this micarta. So when I opened it up and I saw it, I was just like super, super excited that I had gotten the one that like it was just like he kind of read my mind. It was super cool. So
I just did I don't know if you said you haven't watched. I just did a video, well, yesterday, I think
it
it
was
posted.
the wooden Runtley. Is that what
Yeah,
I saw
yeah.
that on
I
Instagram.
really like that one.
Yeah.
I really like the looks of that. And the white bone, the oxbone holiday, that one blew me away. And I was so surprised
Yeah,
that
I've heard
it
a lot of
did.
good things about the holiday. Well, really
Yeah.
about holiday knives in general. I can't say
Well,
I've heard
yeah.
about them.
And they've got, man, I don't know. They've got like 5 or 6
Yes.
that are just, they're waiting, they're
Mhm.
prototyping right now.
Yeah,
He's
I'm
just
super.
going nuts.
Yeah, and I like that they're like adamant about like not keeping the prototypes like under wraps. They want
Right.
you know s- uh what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of like give you like sneak peeks and stuff like that, and they're just I don't know, they're really really cool.
Oh, yeah. Then, well, what is it? The Devil's Finger. That's one I'm looking for. Well, I'm
Yeah,
looking forward to all of them.
yeah,
Just be honest. But the Devil's Finger, I'm really looking forward to.
same with me.
And
I just
then,
excited for
did you
the
see the Lucky 13?
yes the little mini sway back they're gonna do.
Yeah, there again, it's kind of that white bone.
Yes,
But I
kind
guess this is going to be the
of.
first one that doesn't have a pocket clip. It's going to come with a slip, from what it sounds
Oh,
like.
I missed
I
that.
thought that's what I thought that's what I was reading on
Huh.
it. Yeah. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah,
It'll be interesting. But
yeah.
yeah, I'm all
I'm
aboard the
probably
Finch train.
Yeah, I'm probably the most excited for the Devil's Finger and
Yeah.
the Lucky 13. I think the Cherry Bomb another one of them.
Yep. That's another one. That one's coming in red smooth bone. So I'm
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, come on,
Oh, yeah.
let's get that one out here.
Yeah. I'm curious when they're going to start dropping those. I know sometime over the summer, but
I
I'm hoping
think
sooner than later.
I was just looking here
Mm,
yesterday or the day before, and I think they say like the cherry bomb, the devil's finger. I think they all say late summer.
okay.
Things could change.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I think, what was it, the drifter or the harvester just said summer, I think.
Okay.
So it all, I haven't come out and asked.
Yeah.
And knowing Spencer, if I just asked him, he'd probably
Oh,
say, hey, probably such and such time frame. You know what
yeah.
I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe not though. Maybe he wants to keep that suspense coming, which is good. Nothing wrong with that either. That's a good, well, like you said, they don't hide anything. They're saying, hey, look what we got coming.
Kind of lets you build that hype around it and gets you excited for them.
Oh yeah. And
Mhm.
trust me, he doesn't have to hype it to me. I'm ready.
No,
I'm
I
waiting.
agree.
I just wait for the next one to drop. Seriously. I'm
So do you have all the Finch models so far?
I do. I do. I have
Okay.
them. I don't have I have one of each model. Well, I have a couple of Runtleys now since I got the wooden one, because
Mhm.
they had the original and then it was a while and they sent out a red and black one. They put out the
Oh,
red and black,
yeah.
red G10, black blade.
Luckily, yeah.
Yeah, so I kind of waited for that one a little bit. But
Did you see
um
that they're doing or they just sent out the holiday with like a green micarta
I
to
did. Yeah, I did
those
see that too. Oh yeah. That, to me, that knife's gonna look good in just about anything.
anything. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's there again, it's the inspiration, it's the story,
Mhm.
but to me, that white ox bone,
Yeah.
that just looked like the knife that would be in Doc Holliday's
Mhm.
vest pocket.
Yeah.
And I was like, dang man, they just nailed it for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was really,
Mhm.
really stoked and really happy when that one came out. But they sold out quick.
Did they?
Oh
I, I
man,
didn't.
those things sold out pretty fast. I think traditionalpocketknives.com, I think they had some,
Mm.
you know, they were one of the last ones to have any. And
Yeah.
people are like, where do I get it? Where do I get it? And I'm like, go
Kind of scary.
here, go here. You might get it.
Mhm.
So that's cool. Well, okay. So, and please don't take this in any odd way, but
Mhm.
younger younger people like yourself,
Yeah.
I've noticed don't tend to be into slip joints very much
Yeah.
because slip joints they kind of went. I think they're making a resurgence now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And what
I
is
just
your? Do you have any? Do you really
I
collect or?
do have one. I'm not. I will say it. I'm not a huge fan, just because. Oh, wrong way. Um, there's just, I guess the fidget factor isn't there.
Yeah. Yep.
That's kind
Yep.
of maybe why it drives me away from liking them. But I do get like the practicality, and just, I mean, it's just a cutting tool, and they're normally,
Right.
lightweight or thin. But the one I do have is the Real Steel Luna,
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Yeah.
and I think this is a Knife Center exclusive. But um, why I bought this is because I'm a big Star Wars nerd, and
There you go.
I didn't have a slip joint, so I figured for like $30, I think this was,
Right.
a
Right.
D2 and D10, pretty good materials for that price point. I was like, it's worth it just to have it in the collection. And
Sure.
I don't carry it a ton. I'm not gonna lie. It doesn't see a whole lot of pocket time, but I bought it because, like, I graduate soon, and I'm probably gonna have slacks, and like I'm gonna be dressed up a little bit, and I feel like this
Sure.
would be a really good knife just to throw in
There
the
you
pocket,
go.
because the pocket clip is like almost like a pen pocket clip, but it's
Oh,
super good.
sure. Yeah.
So yeah, I this is my only slip joint, but I do appreciate it for just being a practical, cutting tool.
Sure.
But
I mean, and some people just aren't, into the whole slip joint thing. I know some people are, have some concern about them
Mhm.
because they don't lock, and I get that. I
Yeah.
understand that.
Yeah, sometimes I
But
guess when I do use it, I just have to make sure I don't like press down on the blade like I normally do in some of
yeah,
the.
yeah, you do gotta you definitely gotta watch stuff like that. But that's just kind of what I've noticed, younger people in the knife community, because
Mhm.
one of the first ones I did of these was with, you know, I don't know if you're familiar with like Knife Dude
Yeah,
and
yeah.
uh just some younger guys in the
Mhm.
community, which is awesome. It's cool to see because you got the old farts like me and stuff like that. And but it's fun to see the new people, younger people get excited in it as well.
I agree completely.
And but
I feel like
there's definitely some differences.
yeah, I agree.
I mean,
Uh,
we all know they're tools and we use them for cutting and all that good stuff, right? I mean, it's a knife. But like you said, you know, it's not that it doesn't have that fidget factor.
yeah,
And trust me, I'm into the fidget factor as
mhm.
well. I mean, you just
That's
sitting
kind of
there.
that's a main drawing point, I guess, for people.
I think it is for a lot of people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Yeah,
fun
you got
fact.
something to do.
Yes.
So, but
But you kind of touched on younger people getting into knives. I love when I see guys on Instagram, or guys like Knife Dude on or YouTube, that have channels, and because I feel like it's definitely not that collecting knives is like an older man or like a older generation type of thing, but it's definitely
right. No, no.
as popular in people like my age group and like a little bit younger. So I love when I see um, younger people start channels or Instagram pages and stuff like that.
Oh, for sure. Are you familiar with the shredder?
Yeah, I recently just started checking out their channel because I think I saw them on Instagram, or someone shouted them out on one of their channels. But I recently kind of started checking their knives out. He's like, is he like 9 or 10 or something like that?
Yeah.
That's what I
Yeah.
thought.
But the cool part about it is just him and his dad. Well, I
Yes.
mean, they get mom involved every
Yeah.
once in a while,
Yeah. I see those too.
but I think it's just absolutely awesome that,
I
him
agree.
and his dad are out there together,
Trying to
learning, teaching,
mhm,
and that's just cool to me.
that's what it's
It's
all
just
about.
awesome. Exactly. Exactly. Like you said, you kind of got your inspiration from your dad and your
Mhm.
grandpa and what they did and how they, and it just, I mean, certainly that had an influence on me
Yeah.
as well. But just to see them out there having fun together and stuff and doing
Mhm.
this stuff, that's just awesome. It's just
Yeah.
really, really cool
Yeah.
for sure. Right on. So now I haven't, let's talk knife laws a little bit.
Okay.
I didn't ask you what state you're from, and I'm not going to do, but what state are you?
Pennsylvania.
You're in Pennsylvania. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, Pennsylvania knife laws.
Mhm.
How do those, are they restrictive? Are they fairly
I don't, if I'm gonna be honest, I don't know a ton about them. I do
okay?
know that like automatic knives and OTFs are illegal here.
Are they
Uh,
illegal to carry, or can you at least own them?
I think you can keep them. I don't think they're technically legal to carry and use.
It's kind of like here in Washington. That's pretty
Mhm.
much our law. You can own them,
Yeah.
but you're just not supposed to carry
I
them.
mean, I don't know how you feel about them, but I kind of think it's a silly law. I think it's kind of kind of getting outdated, and it's getting kind of old.
I think that's the case with a lot of knife laws in
Yeah,
the U.S. I mean, they're old and outdated.
because I just the way I try to explain it to like my friends that aren't really into knives, and like because I had Kevin sent me his Microtech UTX 85 and the Bounty Hunter,
Oh yeah, nice.
and that was my first OTF that I had experienced, and I didn't when I carried it for like the 2.5 weeks that I had it, I made sure to carry like a secondary knife, because if I was in public, I didn't. I just don't know how people are going to react when pull it out to use it.
Sure.
Um, but the way I look at it is, if they're illegal because you think people are going to use them to cause harm to other people and use them
Well,
as
yeah,
weapons,
yeah,
you know, I can pull out one of my thumb stud knives or a knife with like a hole in it, and I can open that up almost just as quickly and use that to harm someone, as opposed to using an OTF or an automatic. I mean, it's pretty close. So I just don't really, I don't know. I just don't really agree with it, I guess.
but you gotta think about it too. In the '60s and '70s, the movies, the
Yeah.
bad guys, what did they all
Yes.
have?
Like stiletto.
Switchblades, and oh
Yeah.
yeah, and that's where it's that's kind of, if you, for the lack of a better term, they've kind of been vilified.
Yeah. I agree, I guess. I didn't really think of
So,
that. Makes
and I mean, and trust me, even still today,
mm,
you you snap open an automatic knife, you're probably going to get some attention.
yes,
You just
exactly. Like you're in
are.
the middle of a restaurant or something.
Yeah.
That's where I am.
No, and trust me, that's where the traditionals, or I kind of refer to them as grandpa's knives, because
Yeah.
that's kind of,
Just pull them
those
out.
don't get that kind of attention,
No.
so it's one of those things. Yeah, you can either get flick, or you can just get this, oh yeah, okay, we'll open this up, so
Nice and easy.
exactly, but I mean, that's just kind of, it's the stigma,
Yeah.
that comes with them. And for sure, and like, even in Colorado, or not Colorado, California, that have some of the more restrictive laws on anything. At
Yeah.
least there you can carry an auto that's, I mean, 2 inch, I think, is their blade length.
Oh, so
So
you
a
can
small,
carry.
yeah, oh yeah, you can
Yeah.
carry an auto in California as long as it's, I believe it's 2 inch, less than
Yeah.
2 inch.
I knew that their blade length laws were
Yeah,
really short, but I didn't know that you could carry an auto.
right. And then, like here, we do have, in Washington, we have a 3 inch blade, limit. um as long as you're not like being absolutely crazy with it, it's not really
Something to
that big
look.
of a deal.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, some states you could carry a machete and they don't care.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, as long as it's
Mhm.
now a lot of places, as long as you're like carrying it, it's not concealed.
Mhm.
You can carry just about anything on your body as long as it's
Yeah.
not concealed. So yeah, I mean, and I mean, Doug Ritter, knife rights. I
Mhm.
mean, I don't know if you're familiar with
A
the,
little bit.
I mean, I get emails all the time about how they're
Yeah.
fighting this law here
Mhm.
and this law here, and he's really, man, that is one organization that is really fighting these old antiquated laws that just,
Updated and
and they have a lot of success.
yeah.
They have some not quite so much success in some cases, but
Now,
you know
don't a lot of the sales or a portion of the sales from like the mini RSK and the RSK go towards his like that foundation or
it
whatever you.
wouldn't surprise me if it does. I
I think
can't say 100%. You might. I think you are correct.
yeah.
But it definitely wouldn't surprise me.
Mm.
I mean, it's his name. So, and yeah. it definitely would not surprise me. You know what? I need to look into that a little further. You
Yeah, I
know?
think I saw that on, I don't know if it was a video or I forget what the website is. I sometimes I uh I'm still kind of newish to all the websites that sell knives, but I
Oh,
feel like
sure.
what's the website that sells those that they're an exclusive to? KnifeWorks? Is that the
Yeah,
Yeah, KnifeWorks. Okay, maybe it was on that website. I forget where I saw it, but I
could have
want to say
been.
a portion of the sales goes towards like directly into his website and like for fighting for knife laws and stuff like that.
Yeah, it would definitely would not surprise me at all. And I mean, they're fighting a good fight. You know, like I
No,
said, you can't win them all,
no, you
but
can talk.
you can try.
Mhm.
And trust me, they are definitely trying.
Yes.
Which that's, I mean, that's awesome. It's
Yeah.
awesome to see somebody like that that really, uh,
Wants to
exactly.
put their foot forward and try to do what the rest of us in the knife community are thinking, but maybe don't want to do. I guess you could say.
Right,
Uh,
right. So now, as far as you like locally,
mhm.
right around where you're at, do you have, obviously you've got, I'm sure you probably have Walmart and all those
Yeah.
things that you can buy knives at. Do you have any really like good sporting goods stores or anything locally that you can go and look at and check out knives, or is it pretty much all online?
Most of it's online, but I go to college in Erie, PA,
Okay.
and I grew up like in between Erie and Pittsburgh, so I've been to both cities a lot.
Okay.
But I guess the extent of like the best store that I could look at was like Erie has it was a Sportsman's, or it was Field and Stream, but now it's Sportsman's Warehouse.
Okay, sure. Yeah,
They
that's
they
our big one here too.
Okay, yeah, they carry like Benchmades and some Spydercos and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And I think
Yeah.
some dogs maybe, but not a huge selection of knives. But most of it's online for me.
Right, right.
So,
Now ours does have has a decent selection.
okay,
The markup is a little,
yeah, I've
that's where you got
noticed.
to watch out for stuff like that. Is, I mean, because obviously they need to make theirs too. I get it,
Yeah,
I understand,
yeah,
but
I've noticed that as well.
and I mean, of course, we have. Well, I mean, it's not close. I mean, probably within an hour, we do have a Bass Pro
Okay,
and a Cabela's, so they're
okay.
some bigger, but we don't, just right here locally, we don't have a whole lot of. We have what they call Big Five. That's kind of a local. I
Mhm.
think that's a West Coast thing.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
And there again, their selection isn't all that great. So it's pretty much me too. It's pretty much all online. And
Now, do you have any? I can't think of any retailers up in that area, but do you have any retailers that you buy from that are
you
stores?
talking like Blade HQ and that type of.
Yeah, kind of places like.
Not really. I mean, let's see, major retailers. Blade HQ might have been the biggest, might have been the closest
They're
one
in Utah.
when in Utah, but
They moved.
and there's, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I was really, I had, I guess I was out of the loop on that. We were talking, and I believe it was Zach I was talking with. And he's like, "Yeah, they're going to Virginia," and I was like,
I was kind
"Oh,
of surprised by that too.
yeah, yeah, really." And that kind of, and if you look back, because they had a lot of their, like you were talking about watching them on YouTube and stuff,
Mm.
quite a few of the guys had left. I mean, like Ben, he left to go do, the banter
Yeah,
and NASDAQ, all his, he had some, but a lot of other guys started leaving. And then when you think about it and they were moving to, I was like, that
yeah,
could definitely be a indicator.
because didn't Zach just leave recently too?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah. So, the writing was there, and
Mhm.
well, I mean, it's obvious that they probably didn't, they had other things, family or jobs or whatever, I don't
Priority.
know.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, they got, like you said, priorities, and family's a big thing, man, you
yeah,
know
I agree.
and so
Now,
make
isn't is Benchmade? It's up in what, Oregon?
Portland, yeah, it's
Portland.
in the Portland area, yeah, and we
Okay.
were just down there, as a matter of fact.
Yeah.
And I mean, Port well, Oregon, I
Mhm.
mean, Oregon is a hotbed, because I mean,
I've
I
done
mean,
a
you've
lot
got,
of like this. I might be taking the words out of your mouth, but I don't know if you like designers and stuff from Oregon.
oh yeah, Yeah, there's a
That's what I thought.
lot of them. Or Oregon just seems like I said, it seems like the hotbed because I mean you've got CRKT and you have Kershaw, ZT, Benchmade, Gerber.
I didn't know that Kershaw and what was the first one you said? CRKT. I didn't know that they were out in
Oh
that area.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Now they really don't have like Benchmade. They actually have a store
Okay.
at right there,
They had like the
and
factory and then they had like a storefront too.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty well. I mean, like right now they're a little bit more open. They
Mhm.
were closed down quite a bit. Because of well, just like everybody else with COVID and everything. Um, but you could get in there for a while. You could get in by appointment,
Okay.
and we did that.
That's
And
cool.
now they're kind of opened up a little bit more
Mhm.
to where they'll have more than because like by appointment it was just I think it was two people at a time
Oh, okay.
because the store's not big.
Yeah.
It's not I mean it's a decent sized room but it's not
Mhm. Yeah.
large.
Okay.
It's not like Bass Pro Shop, right? We're not
Mhm.
talking like that. But
No, no.
um the last time we were here they actually had boxes,
Okay.
tape boxes, so as long
Yeah.
as you maintain the social distancing and all that
Mhm.
stuff you could have more than one group of people
With it.
in there,
That's
but
cool.
they were still limiting it,
Yeah.
quite a bit. But
Mhm.
yeah, but like CRKT, Kershaw, from what I understand, is they don't have
Any like
like
store.
storefronts. It's pretty
Yeah.
much just
Just the factory and
yeah, and storage and shipping and all that type of stuff. So, but they're all down there.
yeah.
Yeah, so
I
it's
mean,
and there's a lot of I give Zach a bad time
yeah.
because he talks about like Tom Veff, Veff serrations
Mhm.
on the CRKTs, the big chunky serrations that you see on some of their knives. He's
Yeah.
right there,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
and so yeah, there's just it's a I don't know,
A
I guess it's a
hot area for the
it
knife.
is, it really is. Yeah, and like you said, there's a lot of designers and stuff
Mhm.
down there in just Oregon as a whole.
Yeah.
But Washington, I mean, we have a few, not I guess not a lot like Bradford.
Oh,
Familiar
Bradford's
with
from
Bradford? Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
they're from right here. They're probably I'd say they're probably an hour away from me.
Okay. That's cool.
So, yeah. Yeah, so there's a few of them. There's a few of them here.
I think Pennsylvania, the only two that I can think of right off the top of my head is Asher, obviously he's from Pittsburgh.
Okay.
And then I didn't know this, but Andrew Demko is um he's like 20 minutes north of Pittsburgh, which is like half an hour away from where I grew up. So I didn't know that he was uh like so close to me. But
Oh,
I
that's
guess
cool.
yeah, I guess he's on this side of Pennsylvania too.
Oh, right on. Yeah, I
Yeah.
had no idea. That's pretty cool. Man, you want to talk about Demko and Cold Steel and wow. How have you really gotten into Cold Steel at all?
Not that I don't think I haven't owned a cold steel and I don't think I've ever even held a cold steel, but
Really?
yeah.
Man, that's one of those that it just kind of they've got so many models. Oh
They
my
do have
goodness.
a ton of yeah. And
And
there are a few that I've wanted to check out. I just haven't gotten around to it. What's I think the one that's really kind of stuck out to me, just looks wise, I think is it the American Lawman. Is that one?
oh yeah.
Kind of a classic.
That's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I just like it's just like kind of a clean because some of their designs are a little much for me, I guess. But that one is just kind of real clean and simple. So that's kind of been on my list for a while. And then I knew the like the 8010, the 8050,
Sure.
stuff like that.
Yeah. Yeah, you
So
get that. I mean, there are oh my goodness, there are so many different cold steels. And I don't have a lot of
mhm.
cold steels, but when you talk about oh, I forget the word you use, but well, they got some big old just crazy looking knives.
Yeah.
like
Like over.
the Voyagers and
Yeah.
stuff, and
Yeah. Is the Espada? Is
the
that one of
Spotter. Yeah, the Spotter
they're like,
XL,
they're
man.
like pocket swords,
They
basically.
are. They
Like I would
are.
never. I don't know how you can carry something like that in your pocket.
But I mean, you kind of had to. I mean, if you know and see Lynn Thompson, you can
Yeah.
understand where it came from.
I've seen a few videos with him. I think maybe from Blade HQ, but he's definitely a personality.
He's a character, man. Yeah, definitely, definitely. But then again, that one just sold. You
Yeah, I was
know,
just gonna ask. Didn't they just
they
they sold it
did. Yeah, they did.
the
And
last couple months?
I guess he's still part of it, or at least I don't know. Thinks he's still. I don't know. I don't know the situation there.
Yeah, I haven't
But
really looked into it too much. I mean, I knew that they sold to somebody.
but they did bring back. They're bringing back some of their older models and older, very more popular models that were discontinued at one point, and people are really happy about that. So maybe it's a good thing.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah,
it'll end up being a good thing for them.
that's true.
So
Yeah,
who
I definitely
knows?
need to. I feel like I should have a Cold Steel in my collection, so I'll get around to getting one of them at some point.
Don't ever feel like you should have
Well,
something in your
that's true.
collection.
I guess, yeah. I don't know. The way I look at it is, I don't like to collect like, well, at least that's my outlook now on it. Like, I don't ever see myself having like a ton of the same like having like four pair threes and like a bunch of the same models. I just
I'm
like
the
to,
same way. I'm the same way.
yeah, I just
I
like to
am.
experience like, I'd rather, instead of buying multiple of the same knife, use that money towards, a model from this manufacturer, a model from this manufacturer. Just,
Exactly. Yep.
you get to experience everything. That's kind of how I view it.
Now I will say that I own probably more than one bug out because I do.
Some are, and I'm not saying that that's like a bad thing by any means.
No, 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 not at all.
I mean, if you have knives that you love and they're great knives, there's no shame in that
No,
whatsoever.
no, no, no. Well, I mean, you can kind of say that about you can almost say that about slip joints, right?
That's true. Yeah.
Or if you want to even get, well, I have a flipper knife. Now why do I need any more flipper
Yeah.
knives? You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
there's just so many awesome. And I think people that are just getting into the hobby,
Mhm.
I think it's a fantastic time
Oh, so
because
many.
there's just so much out there.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Civivi alone
Hmm.
is just like, I mean, they drop, I mean, it seems like they drop like 5, 6 models at a time.
Yeah. Speaking of CBV, do you have the riffle?
I don't have one.
Have you
I
experienced
did review one. What do you think? What do you
I
think?
love it. I think it's really, really good. Um,
I did
this is
too.
one
I really liked it.
I have an Elementum that I have, and I really, enjoy this. I thought it
Hmm.
was really. I mean, I feel like the Elementum was kind of a hype knife too. Like everyone, I mean, and their mother kind of got one, but they're really good knives.
Oh, sure. There's nothing wrong with them. They are good
And
knives.
I got this in, and this is probably, when you asked me earlier if I had any bigger knives, this is probably my biggest knife
Okay.
blade wise, and it's not even really that big, but it fits my hand really well.
Yeah.
The
Yep.
detent with the middle finger flicks really good, and the flipper. I mean, for $50, the micarta is good. I mean, Civivi just continually, kills it with their models.
Oh, yeah.
They're just really, really, good.
And I tell you what, I actually commented this on somebody's video
Mhm.
the other day. I think it might have been yesterday, but
Mhm.
I throw some shade towards Tantos because it's just not my favorite blade style. Absolutely nothing wrong with them, and they work just fine.
Mhm.
Just not my favorite. I'm more of a drop point. But I tell you what, the brazen.
Yeah, I saw that model come out.
I mean,
Or
there's a drop point brazen too, but that I really, really enjoyed
Mhm.
the Tanto knife the brazen that I had.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
really enjoyed that knife. So I might jump to the dark side. Who knows? But no, it's fantastic. The Keen Natter was good too.
I've heard that. Yeah, I've heard good reviews about that one too.
Yeah, and it's kind of, if I remember correctly, it's kind of like the riffle where you've kind of got a little bit of curve to the handle.
Mhm. Just
and
fits
it
your
just
hand.
fits well. Yeah, it just fit really, really well.
Yeah, but like you said, it just, I mean, Civivi seems like they, every time they release new models, it's like 5, 6, 7.
Oh yeah.
They're all good. I mean, obviously, I haven't experienced all of them or much of them, if I'm being honest. But I
Oh
mean,
God, are you kidding me? I haven't. There's too many. I haven't
exactly.
seen them all either
Yeah.
by a long shot. There's several Civivis that I've never gotten my hands on. Just because I mean, since they came out, I mean, I don't even know how many models they've
How many?
dropped,
Yeah, yeah. It's just
and it's just
crazy.
been in a short period of time because
Mhm.
they were kind of getting started when I kind of started my channel. Because the Backlash and the Praxis and those first models were all pretty new when I started. And since then, my goodness,
Well,
I can't even, they have to have well over, I'd be amazed if they didn't have at least 30 models out,
yeah, easily.
you
Um,
know,
and
since the beginning.
I've heard, I think it was Jake at Bearded Gear, I think on one of his podcasts, I forget who he had on when he said this, but he said that like if someone like doesn't know anything about knives and comes to you and says, "Hey, like, I want to get a pocket knife, like where should I go?" And he said something about like, just go look at CBD, go find a model that you like. Odds are is you're going to enjoy it and you're going to like it because there's so many models and I mean, there's something for everybody really.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Without a
So,
doubt. Civivi is, I mean, I think they have right now, I mean, completely my opinion,
mhm.
but Civivi's got that $50 to $100.
Yes. Kind of on
They've got
not a
it
lot.
locked down for the most
Yeah.
part. I mean, don't get me wrong. Best Tech makes great knives. QSP makes great knives. There's a lot of great knives in that
That's
price
correct.
range.
Yeah.
But when you think about knives that fall, I mean, to me, Civivi is one of the first ones that comes to mind,
Yep,
just
me too.
because they have so many.
Mhm.
And now that they're using, S35 and 14C, and they're expanding kind of their blade steels, and it's just,
I
I,
actually, are you kind of do you understand steel locks? I was gonna ask you, I mean, I have a lot of D2 knives because I've kind of grown to like D2, but is
uh-huh.
14C28N, is it technically better than D2 or how would you explain that?
Oh
Because
God,
I'm
I
sort
just
of new to steel and like new to like, understanding how steels work and like edge retention and all that stuff. So I didn't
right, right.
know.
I am definitely not a steel guy, quote
Okay.
unquote. But I tell
Yeah.
you what, to me, 14C is it's a little bit better than
Okay.
D2, and I say that because I have no issue with D2 and sharpening it and everything, but for some reason, I just do really well with 14C and then like a VG10.
Mhm.
Those two steels just work for me when I'm sharpening, and it seems like they hold an edge a little bit longer. Their edge retention is a little better in my experience.
Okay.
So, as far as when you're getting down to compounds and makeup, dude, I don't get that deep into it. I just
Yeah, me
don't.
too. Yeah.
But does it work? Does it do what I need it to do?
Yeah.
That's all that I worry about. And when it comes to that, I mean, does 8CR do what I need it to do? Yeah, most of the time it does. Um, but it does hold in, to me, it holds an edge a little bit better edge retention, and it just, I mean, D2 sharpens easily and I
Yeah.
can get a decent edge on it, but
Oh yeah.
I think overall edge retention 14C just lasts a
Right.
little longer for me. And obviously that all depends on how it's done,
Mhm.
how it's heat treated as well.
Yeah. Yes. I
That does play into it.
Mhm.
And I mean, I don't know if you're familiar with like Outpost 76
A
or
little bit, yeah.
Tom Hosang, they do a lot of the edge testing
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
you know, um, that type of thing. And they really, really get into it. If you're looking for information on steels, those two are really two good guys to check out,
Yeah, I think
to
I
watch.
follow Tom on Instagram, but I don't think I've really dived into his YouTube channel, so maybe that's something I should go.
Now his YouTube, yeah, I noticed recently he started to put out a couple more videos. I think there was a little bit of a lull, but he
Okay.
does them every once in a while.
Okay.
Outpost 76 does quite a bit.
Okay.
He does a lot of edge retention testing.
Okay, I'll have to check him out too then.
Yeah, Gerald. He's really deep into the edge and we're talking, and not just, I mean, he runs the gambit, man. You're talking LMAX and Rex 45 and anything some new comes out, man, he's on top of it and testing it. And that's where the whole kind of like M390, I don't know, since you're a little bit, I mean, that wasn't very long ago, and I don't know how deep you've gotten into it, but there was a whole thing with M390 for a while.
Like
People not heat treating it correctly and edge retention, and there was a whole thing with Lion Steel and all this other good stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I mean, and it's true, if you're going to be using a steel like M390, which, for a while was considered a higher grade steel, and it really is, it's got to be done correctly. It's got to be heat treated correctly and stuff like that. And
it comes down to the heat.
It really does, if it's too soft, and it's not gonna, it's not gonna sharpen right, and you're not gonna get the edge. And that's still like me, like a good 440C heat treated correctly is a fantastic steel. It is. Any steel is going to perform when the steel is optimized, it's going to perform better. That's anything.
Like, I mean, as long as it all depends on the use too. I mean, it's just a normal everyday carry, like, opening boxes, opening letters,
right?
Cardboard. I mean, really, like you said, any steel is going to perform. I mean, like you said, 8CR up to 20 CV or M390. As long as it's treated correctly, it should do the job you need it to do.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. And I mean, let's face it. Probably, I say probably 70% of the people in the EDC community, even like 8CR is going to be more than a plentiful steel for them on the knife that they're carrying, because like you said, open boxes, cut a few things here and there. Yeah, it's just everyday tasks. It's not like they're out there
like chopping through trees,
right, or doing anything crazy with it. And some of those steels, yeah, okay, at the end of the day, you come up, you strap it up a little bit, and it's going to be pretty much right back to where it was. It's just you're not going to put an edge on 8CR and cut for a month with it like you maybe would M4 or LMAX or one of those,
Yeah.
So it's just, if it suits your needs and does what you need it to do, then, I'm pretty much go for it.
Yeah.
Use whatever you want, like whatever you want.
It's true.
It's,
At the end of the day, that's all that matters, really.
Yeah. It's all about the user, and it just really, that's where it ends pretty much. As long as do you, since we're on the steel, I'll put you on the spot. Do you have it? I know you said you pretty much like D2 and stuff like that. Are you, have you gotten to that point?
Not really, because I mean, I don't like, I think I bring it up in almost every one of my videos. I don't hard use my knives really much at all, because for 9 months of the year I'm at school, and I'm like just going back and forth to classes. So the most use I see, opening an Amazon package or opening a new knife package or a letter or something like that. But during the summer I do like landscaping, and I work outside.
Oh, okay.
So I do use my knives a little bit more there. But
sure.
I think I have a lot of D2 because I have, well, I have 1, 2, 3.
Well, let's face it, there's a lot of D2 knives out there.
They're very, kind of for the past, I'd say 2 years or so.
Oh yeah.
It's kind of the prominent budget steel that you're getting on.
Oh sure.
I have a lot of that. I'm starting to get more M390 in. I don't have any experience with LMAX. I do have a couple 20 CV knives. But yeah, I kind of have a wide, range of it. I guess I don't necessarily go out of my way to avoid like HCR or stuff like that, but I guess I don't know, if a knife has like 20 CV or M390 or something like that, it's just a perk in my opinion, because even though I'm not a huge user, and I'm a huge, like, I'm gonna put it to its test and through its paces and stuff like that. It's just
Right.
that peace of mind knowing that you have 20 CV or something, as long as it's done correctly, that's gonna last me forever for doing
Oh,
the kind of
sure.
that I do. So
Right.
that's
Right.
kind of the way I look at it. But
I'll be perfectly honest with you.
that's crewware, right?
It is crewware, and this
I
is
don't,
pretty much going to be my first experience with crewware.
yeah, I don't have any experience with that either. So
And that's probably, to be perfectly honest with you, that's probably what's the right word? What's the right term I'm looking for? Probably the most durable, when you're talking LMAX,
hard,
M4,
yeah,
you know, hardy,
like
sturdy.
all around kind of.
Yeah, yeah, that's probably
Mm,
and we'll see. We'll see how I do with it, and
yeah,
because when it comes to sharpening, I'm definitely not a expert. I know how to, I can, get a knife so it shaves, but
mm,
it's, I just here, I guess it was probably last year.
mm.
I finally got my wife got me a cami for my birthday.
Oh,
So
okay.
I feel like that is a more, though that's for, I can really work on an edge,
Yeah,
and refine an
yeah,
edge rather than just sharpening.
okay. Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
So, and I've been working with it and stuff like that. So we'll see. And it's just
You
interesting.
don't get ahead of it, so
Yeah, I figure I'd try more of the higher grade steels, if you
mhm,
will, and just kind of see how I do with them.
mhm.
Because like you said, D2, the 14C,
Yeah,
VG10, they all sharpen fairly easily.
pretty easy.
You
Yeah,
don't have to be a wizard to get a good edge on them, which is good for me.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
good for me.
I agree.
So yeah, very cool. So dang man, this has been absolutely awesome. I'm
Yeah,
so
I had a blast.
glad you agreed to join me and come on here. I know you're probably getting down to a point where you probably got to be getting to class here in a little
Yeah,
bit. It's not too much of a rush, but I want you to make sure you got plenty of time to get to class and get ready and everything. But man,
I do have
Alex,
a
thank you
question if I
so
may,
much.
real quick.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's regarding the Solaris,
Yes,
and
yes.
then what's the knife on the left of the Penguin? Those two knives that I was gonna. Yeah, that
Th-
one.
this is the Alliance Designs Jasmine, another Laconico design,
Oh, okay. Yeah,
but
I
he
saw
did a
that and I didn't recognize what it was.
but yeah, he did this one with Alliance Design.
Okay.
And again, it's a little bit, I mean, it's still a Laconico. I
It
mean, just
reminds
the
me of
clean
the
lines.
what is it, the Yorkie that you held up earlier?
Yes.
It kind of reminds me of it's a little bit thicker of a blade than like the MBK knives, but it just reminds me kind of the yeah, sort of similar, I guess, but
Yeah.
a little bit bigger.
Well, I mean, it's his design DNA, if you will.
Hmm.
But yeah, and I mean, I do have, oh, I can't reach it. It's over there. I can see it. It's right there. Let me hang on one second.
Okay, okay.
All right, here we go. Now here's a min pin,
I don't know if I've seen that before.
and
Is
that's a
that
little, it's more of a clip point,
okay,
but it's a Laconico.
okay.
So, and it's an MBK knife.
Oh, it's an MBK. Okay, I
Yep,
wasn't
yep,
sure.
it's an MBK knife.
Okay.
So that's a little bit more because it's got more of the holes and stuff in it. So definitely, a little bit different than that. But it's a Laconico, and yeah, I just had to add it to the
Oh yeah, of
collection.
course.
So
Yeah.
so okay, yeah, I'm a little bit of a fanboy. You can
Mhm.
go ahead, That's fine. I admit it. I'll
I'm
admit
good. Yeah, you know,
it.
I'm good.
But
And
yeah,
then
and then the
with
Solaris, and then
yeah,
which other one? This one?
no, the Solaris.
The Solaris is one.
How are you
Yeah,
liking that? Because I
I like it a lot. I really do. And um, I like the multiple deployment.
yeah.
You've got just about everything,
Mhm.
but I'm just really happy for David.
Yeah.
Blade Banner, you know, he was
recently
all about that button lock.
Yeah.
And he just went out and made the knife happen. And I think that's just so awesome.
Yeah, I didn't know that that existed until probably maybe a week and a half ago. But I was watching some videos on it, and it looks like a real. I mean, for $80 for a button lock, and like you said, it's supporting, you know, another creator and another
Right.
you know, knife person in the EDC world. So I definitely I want to get that in my hands at some point, and it's definitely in that price range that's attainable for someone like me that doesn't have a ton of uh, you know, money to spend on stuff. So
Right. And it's 14C.
yes,
So it's
yeah,
a steel I like. A
yep.
steel that works for me. And you know, and it really wasn't even, it's not even a negative. And this is when, for me, when I hold it, you know, when I get up, when I choke up, it's a little wide,
Okay, yeah, it
you know,
looks
in
like
this grip through here.
yeah.
Not bad. It's not bad,
Mhm.
you know, but normal, no. It's just,
This
I've
looks
yet to hear anybody say really anything negative about it.
yeah,
I really haven't. And maybe that person is out there, because I'm sure it's not going to be right for everyone. It's just
yeah,
not.
you're right.
You know, it's just like anything else. It's not going to be right. But I like it. I love the multiple opening methods.
Mhm.
And, you
All of it.
know, like I said, the big thing is I'm so stoked for David that he saw, you know, I mean,
Had a vision and went and got it.
I
I
saw
went
that drawing when it was like on a napkin.
really.
And then we went through, you know, we've kind of went through this whole uh, evolution with him, because then he had the 3D model, you know, the printed model, and then we had the prototypes, and just to see it, you know, come
Yes, and stuff.
from the beginning to the end, it's just really cool.
Cool. Yeah,
It's just really cool to see that.
yeah,
So, well, man, you only got a month left, huh?
yeah, yep.
That's awesome, dude. That is very, very cool.
Thank you.
Um,
Really appreciate
and it's gonna be, you know, well, I mean, I'm sure we'll talk or we'll talk again, but man, it's
it.
just awesome. I hope you take that and just run with it and do
Thank you.
really good things, man. That's absolutely awesome.
Thank you so much. I
And
really appreciate that.
you know, I hope the channel blows up. Guys, you gotta check out 814 EDC. You gotta check out Alex and his channel. He's starting out really good. I like the way you do your videos. I like your flow,
Thank you.
you know, and it's kind of it's a little bit different than my
Mhm.
flow and
Mhm.
the way I do videos, but that's awesome because people, you know, different styles fit different people.
Yeah,
Default
exactly.
people like different styles.
Mhm.
So it's really cool, dude. Like I said, I really appreciate you coming on and doing
Yeah,
with
of course.
this
Thank you so much for having me.
morning. And full disclosure, I made Alex wait this morning.
All good.
We
All
started a
good.
little earlier than what I'm used to, and it was so funny, man. I don't know. I don't know. I guess I slept completely through my alarm. We were
It happened.
supposed to, full disclosure, we were supposed to start at 8. I wake up at like, I don't know. I woke up and I looked at the clock and it was like 7:53. I'm like, that didn't work. So
Didn't
I'm
need
like,
more coffee to
I'm
eat.
running
Yeah.
around trying to message Alex, like, dude, I'm coming. I'm sorry, bro.
Hey,
And
it's
I
all
was
good.
like,
No worries
so
at all.
hey, you know, it happens sometimes.
Mhm.
So
Happens
brother,
in
I
a day.
hope you have an absolutely fantastic rest of your day. I hope you have a great week
Thank
and
you.
wish you the greatest success with the channel. And
I
like I
really
said, guys, there'll be links down in the description. Check out 814 EDC on YouTube. Check him out on Instagram. Some really good content. And you never know, man. You might be looking at the next police commissioner of Pittsburgh
oh
here. You
man,
never know. You never
that's
know.
crazy. You're right. You
He's like, I don't know if I want that job.
well,
You
thanks
never
again.
know, man.
Thank you for having me on. I really
Oh,
do
for sure,
appreciate
brother.
you reaching out and for having me on to talk. I really, you know, this past hour and a half, I've had a blast. You know, getting to know you more and just getting to
Well, and that's what this is all about.
talk
I want
around.
people to help get to know you better, and
Yeah.
you know, get the word about the channel out there for
Mhm.
sure. for sure.
I appreciate that a lot. So
I do too. I appreciate you being here. So,
Mhm.
and this will, guys, well, for your, what we're recording, this will actually post on Saturday. So this will actually post, well, them the one it posts because they'll be watching it. But for your, this will post on the 10th. So there you go. How's that?
Yeah, good for them.